All right, guys, so here we have a 2012 BMW X5. This is the E70 chassis. It is a 50i last year after the LCI update. So this vehicle is going to be powered with the N63 twin turbo V8. As you can see here, we have deleted the twin turbo. Going around the vehicle, we've also removed the transmission to gain access to and inspect the rear main seal in the back of the engine weep holes. The V8, it has like a coolant crossover pipe and some weep holes for oil getting into the valley. As you can see here, I know the focus is hard, but we have contamination inside the bell housing. It likes to sit in these pockets and leak out here and here on the N63, S63 cars. See, we had some wetness there, but when we bore scoped it, we didn't really see it leaking straight out of the rear main seal. Let me go up with the vehicle and show you guys what I'm talking about. Now with the vehicle in the air and the transmission removed, we have a nice clear picture of the back of the S63 engine, or I'm sorry, N63 engine. This is the twin turbo V8 with the hot V valley. You can see these weep holes once the turbochargers are removed, where the oil from this valley will leak out of this weep hole and then come down the back side of the engine around your rear main seal, leak straight out of the bell housing, indicating some sort of rear main seal leak failure. I did want to remove the transmission to inspect further, and then I went ahead and removed the turbos and everything in the hot V valley so we can replace what I'm going to show you next. So this is what an N63 looks like with the engine removed. And don't forget, these things don't really leak oil. It's a metal stamped gasket upper and lower oil pan. You have an oil pressure switch which will leak, a rubber oil filter O-ring, and then there's nothing else. That oil filter is part of the upper oil pan. The only thing that makes a mess on these, really, pull the transmission and you'll see what's leaking on your N63, because it's usually coming from back here. Alrighty, now that we are back on the top side of the engine, what I want to show you here is the middle of the V8 with everything removed. This is where our turbochargers sit, our catalytic converters, our downpipes, all of our heat shields, our exhaust manifolds, all of our turbo lines, coolant lines, oil lines, outlet plumbing, alternator belt, electric fan has to come out. Here's what's going on, guys. There's nothing down here that can leak oil besides the turbos. The turbos are the only thing here. What you're not seeing that I'll show you in a little bit, there's a cylinder that is installed here in the valley. This is a vacuum accumulator. It only supplies vacuum and holds vacuum for the wastegate system. Do you see this mess? I've already cleaned up that. This is what it looked like. And you might be wondering what goes there. Well, it's this guy. That guy. This is the drain. This is the cover for the turbocharger oil drain lines. And then the oil feed line comes out of a banjo fitting right here and wise up. But this is where your drain lines go. They plumb in there and they plumb in there. Now these could leak. There's actually some O-rings in here that we're gonna have to replace, but you'll see why we don't worry about these O-rings. That's not what's leaking. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen these molded gaskets. Look at that. This is not a gasket. This is not a serviceable gasket. You can clean it and you can silicone it, or you can just replace it. If we look at the gasket profile, bro, there's nothing left. It's totally flat. It's not going to seal against anything. That's what creates this oil leak. It's super hot down here. Look at this. This is why I started taking the video in the first place. You can see the actual gasket material stuck to the engine block. That gasket material has completely separated. Once I took these bolts out, this thing, I didn't even have to move it or pry it or anything. It literally, it, it was loose. This is the preformed seal that comes on that housing. It's cooked. This is what leaks oil on the N63 valley of the engine. If your turbos are clean, it's probably this. That's why people think we're crazy. Catalytic converters have to come out. This is your top heat shield. So this is everything from the turbocharger lines that's leaking. This is not our issue. Our issue is below this. This is just a mess from the turbocharger inlets and some other stuff. Exhaust manifolds, these go underneath the turbocharger. Look at this heat shield. Jesus. This is all from the nasty inlets, the broken PCV hoses, the tubes, all that stuff. Quite a bit of blow-by. It's a V8. These things are dirty. PCV hoses have been broken for a while, so we're just going to get everything cleaned up. Probably some fresh grommets. Look at that. That turbo has been making a mess, dude. This all has to come off. Here's that vacuum accumulator I was talking about. There's nothing on the back side of it. It's just a canister. Let's see if the vacuum pump is bad. All right, this car has a healthy vacuum pump. If it's full of oil, it would need a vacuum pump. We'll look closer at the turbos, but I don't think they're actually bad. Nothing's wet. It's just a V8 with a lot of blow-by. These are your oil drain lines. They just push into the O-ring that's already in the housing. All of that has to come off. There's our engine. And then here's a whole nother pile of shit. Gotta love it.